The NFL never sleeps, especially during the off-seasons. Stars are on the move, and the game of musical chairs has begun. Which big names will swap teams this year, and who will be the biggest game changer? Let's find out. The NFL landscape is shifting once again, and it's a whirlwind of action out there. All eyes are on the quarterbacks, the heroes on the field, especially those moving to new teams. Some of the most skilled quarterbacks are packing their bags, ready to bring their magic to new cities. Then there's the drama with the Chicago Bears. Oh, the Bears. They're sitting on gold with the first pick, but the big question looms. Will they stick with Justin Fields? If wisdom prevails, they should. But then again, it's the Bears we're talking about. The decision they make could shape their future for better or worse. And speaking of changes, let's not forget about the edge rushers and wide receivers. An all-pro edge rusher is already waving goodbye to his team, ready to tackle new challenges elsewhere. Then, there are those legendary wide receivers, icons of the sport, gearing up to don new jerseys. Switching gears, let's chat about the Super Bowl predictions. Yes, those predictions didn't quite pan out as expected, but that's the thrill of the game, isn't it? Predictions can be hit or miss, but sharing the excitement and the heartbreak is what brings fans together. And hey, while the NFL season has wrapped up, there's no time to rest. The NBA is now under the spotlight. It's a seamless transition from one adrenaline-pumping season to another. Plus, there's a little something extra for the fans, free picks on Instagram, and a sweet deal with pizza picks. Just a short while ago, Davante Adams made headlines by swapping the Green Bay Packers for the Las Vegas Raiders, even though the Packers offered him a bigger paycheck. Why the move? It seems he was looking to avoid the unpredictability surrounding the Packers' future quarterback situation, especially with Jordan Love waiting in the wings and the team seemingly ready to part ways with Aaron Rodgers. But life in Las Vegas hasn't been all smooth sailing for Adams either. Every year brings a new quarterback throwing him the ball, and 2024 looks to be no exception as the Raiders have just released Jimmy Garoppolo. Adams is a player deeply concerned with his legacy, and catching passes from Aiden O'Connell might not be the legacy boost he's hoping for. Rumors are swirling that he's eyeing a reunion with Aaron Rodgers, this time in New York. However, dreams clash with reality here. The New York Jets are tight on salary cap space and are likely more interested in bolstering their offensive line than acquiring another high-priced wide receiver. Considering Adams' hefty contract, a move to the Jets seems more fantasy than fact. Meanwhile, Mike Evans, another top-tier wide receiver, is navigating his own crossroads. Despite a quarterback carousel that includes names like Josh McCown, Mike Glennon, a past-his-prime Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Jameis Winston, Evans has impressively racked up over 1,000 yards in every season he's played. Now stepping into free agency for the first time, Evans has got a big decision to make about his future. Gossip has it that according to Baker Mayfield, Evans might stay with Tampa Bay, but if Evans is chasing more Super Bowl rings, a shift to the Kansas City Chiefs could be tempting. After all, the Chiefs, despite being 2023 Super Bowl champions, are missing a standout lead receiver. Teaming up with Patrick Mahomes, a quarterback with 3 Super Bowl titles to his name, could be a match made in football heaven. Odell Beckham Jr., affectionately known as OBJ, may not be the same dazzling receiver from his New York Giants or Cleveland Browns days, but hold up, he's far from done. Yes, the guy can still outpace defensive backs with that old magic, marking him among the top wide receivers out there. Don't let the basic stats fool you. OBJ can dominate as a main wide receiver if he's just given the chance, but there's a snag. Injuries have held him back. Last season, he only started in 6 out of 14 games, and post-week 1, his playtime dipped below 40% of the team's offensive snaps. Yet, if OBJ manages to dodge injuries and clinch a significant playtime. But here's the twist. It seems OBJ is on a championship hunt at this stage in his career, meaning he's likely to join forces with a contending team. And get this, he's not demanding sky-high salaries like some of his peers. Imagine if he pairs up with Mike Evans. That duo would send shockwaves through defenses. Switching gears to Justin Fields, it's been a bumpy ride for him with the Chicago Bears. Despite the not-so-great stats, many argue it's not all on him. Poor coaching, a shaky offensive line, and the team's track record with quarterbacks haven't exactly set him up for success. Yet, Fields has shown glimmers of greatness, inching forward every year, especially in 2023 with his first ever 4-touchdown game. No wonder teams in need of a quarterback are eyeing him keenly. As the NFL's new league year approaches, speculation is rife. Fields might just be swapping the Windy City for New Horizons. But where? That's the million-dollar question. Then there's Kirk Cousins, the talk of the town every offseason. If there's one predictable thing about him, it's that he's bound to land a hefty paycheck. He, previously with the Vikings, broke new ground in 2018 with a fully guaranteed contract. Fast forward and he's eyeing a repeat, but this time he wants even more cash in his pocket. Before his Achilles injury, Cousins was sprinting towards an MVP title. Now he's set to ask for MVP level money. But here's the rub. With Justin Jefferson's huge payday on the horizon, can the Vikings really afford to splash out on Cousins too? Now, Cousins is no spring chicken in the league, and the idea of a team shelling out over $50 million for him while trying to build a competitive squad is something to chew on. He's the hot ticket this offseason, but if he doesn't end up back with the Vikings, don't sweat it. Why? Because there's another player waiting in the wings who might just leapfrog Cousins in terms of potential. Enter Russell Wilson. Just 2 short years after moving from Seattle to the Denver Broncos, Wilson finds himself in a bit of a pickle. Despite decent stats and bringing the Broncos closer to playoff action, he was benched. But get this, it wasn't all about his performance or the team's results. The real drama unfolded over contract discussions. Wilson didn't want to alter his hefty deal, so now he's potentially on his way out. Could we see him sporting a new team's jersey next season? It's highly likely. Despite the chatter, let's not forget that Wilson is still a force to be reckoned with on the field. Last season, he tallied 29 touchdowns, combining both rushing and passing, and threw only 8 interceptions over 15 games. And here's the kicker. If the Broncos decide to cut him, he'll still get a fat paycheck from them. That means any team picking him up gets a top-tier quarterback without the astronomical price tag, especially if they missed out on Cousins. Derrick Henry, despite a dip in his yards per attempt, remains a top draw. Yes, you heard that right. Henry's performance last season might have taken a slight hit, but that's more on the Titans' offensive line woes than on him. Just look at Christian McCaffrey's transformation from the Panthers to the 49ers. It's all about the environment. So if Henry finds himself behind a stronger offensive line, expect fireworks. Now what about Brian Burns, the man causing a storm with his pass rushing prowess? In just 5 years, Burns has notched up 46 sacks and is asking for what he believes he's worth, close to $30 million a year. It's a bold move, especially when you consider he's hit double-digit sacks in a season only once. But given his age and potential, a team out there might just make his payday dreams come true. Kirk Cousins had a stellar season, but now there's a cash crunch at the Vikings. They also need to pay star Justin Jefferson. Can they afford them both? Interesting times ahead. Then there's Russell Wilson in Denver facing a contract standoff. Despite his skill, he might need to find a new team. Could this be a win-win for everyone involved? Over in Cincinnati, Tyler Boyd's stuck behind big names but has the talent to be a top receiver. A new team could let him shine brighter, right? And don't miss the buzz around edge rushers like Hassan Reddick. He's been great at getting to quarterbacks and could be a steal for teams looking for defensive power without spending a fortune. As we navigate through the bustling NFL offseason, remember that every move has the potential to reshape the future of both players and teams. We've broken down the potential shifts and shakes in the NFL landscape. What do you think? Which player's move will have the biggest impact next season? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this rundown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights and updates.